Hey everybody, welcome back to the Breath of Fire walkthrough. I have to apologize just a little bit there. I lost a little bit of my footage, so if it seems like I'm at a different spot than I was when we left off, that is why. Not very, I didn't lose much. It was a tiny segment there where I basically just got from, I think I was kind of right in front of where the boss is at, and this is kind of back the way we came from. So, again, I apologize for that, but hopefully it's a pretty minor inconvenience for anyone. But anyways, I believe I mentioned before, but I lost lost a little bit, and though one thing I guess I forgot is I actually I grabbed this ring of fire that was right there. So again, now that's why that's open. So I had to redo this segment because I lost that footage. But anyways, I got really lucky there. I made it past all those I don't know, the confusing geysers, or the geysers that can hit you with confuse if you walk by it. So again, if you do get hit by one of those, I would just suggest trying to take care of that right away, because you don't want to be dealing with somebody like a Gar that's confused and destroying your own team. So so food for that. Anyways, that ring of fire I ended up putting on Nina. She's I guess in this particular party anyway, she was the best candidate. She and she's probably, if you're bringing her through here, she's gonna have normally a lot less health than anybody else, and that ring of fire really helps keep her protected. My main hero has the magma armor, which I believe I got in the last episode there, and Gar has the asbestos armor, so he should be at complete immunity to fire spells. Again, and if you missed the last one, Gar already has a 50% reduction, and then the asbestos armor gives another 50%. So so he's at 100%. Not much else to say about this place. I guess where I like to level is like right here. I just run back and forth in that specific spot right there, and that's how I level. Interesting enough, our kind of a neat thing about this battle, and I wish I would have done it. We're gonna fight this Gishan guy, or Gisan. I don't know how to say his name right. I guess it doesn't really matter, but you do fight two monsters called Charybdis and Scylla, and those two actually have a 75% 75% resistance to status change, and Gishan himself is completely immune to status. But that being said, if you want to try to land the Gloom spell on Charybdis and or Scylla, that may not be a bad idea, because at a certain percentage, if Gishan is still alive, he'll start casting Vitalize, and which normally will heal those two. But if you have the Gloom status effect on them, it makes them undead. So he will actually deal damage to Scylla and Charybdis, and that can be a very helpful little tool if you're a little bit under geared or under leveled, or a combination of the two, because you can use those heals instead to your advantage. So it's a decent, it's a thought anyway. I don't know how many turns you're gonna want to, it may take you a lot of turns just trying to land those status effects. So but if you notice you're having problems getting these two down while he's healing, you may want to try that. The other thing that you can do is, or that I would suggest anyway, is definitely trying to kill Gishan first. Reason being, again, he does heal, which can really actually kind of end up becoming a problem if you're not able to out damage, or whatever. It'll end up really stringing the battle out. Charybdis and Scylla both have I believe it's a power food, which is definitely worth stealing in my opinion. And I don't know, Gishan's got something like a mage rod or something like that, and I want to say that's, you know, it's a purchasable item, and you can, I think I already had 2 of them by this time. I believe Emitai had one as well. Don't quote me on that. I don't really, oh yeah, okay, I'll look it up quick, being that I'm right here. Magician rod. You know, so I guess if you still need one, there it is. If you still need one, go ahead and steal it. Otherwise, I would not spend much time trying to get that, because again, you know, I had a bunch of them already. So here's Vitalize, and again, that can be really annoying if you're trying to focus down, like say Charybdis or Scylla first. That skill can become quite a problem. Those two have a skill called Wall of Fire, I believe. Did I miss it? Did they just cast it there? I think they did. But that's a learnable enemy skill. So if you, I would definitely suggest getting it. It's not that great, but if you're gonna spend any time like leveling here, it can be a useful skill to put on somebody that doesn't already have a, you know, a base fire skill. In the case of, say, like waking up a Vulcan, or trying to level up the fire, or sorry, the Lavaman. So again, you know, it's worth. I think it's worth at least getting. It's 4 AP as opposed to, say, you know, Lava Burst is 7. So Lava Burst is a bit expensive. Granted, it does more damage and so on and so forth, and that it's a little more useful for actual, you know, combat, or, you know, anywhere outside of this particular dungeon. But again, like I said, say, you know, it's definitely worth learning. So like I was saying, I kind of wish I would have shown the trying to land Gloom, because like I said, you know, I've been trying to use enemy skills a little more than I normally have, and this would have been a great place to actually try. One other thing, you know, hopefully you've got a dream ring or 2. I believe I had 2 at this point. One I think came from the lighthouse, and then one I stole from Carr from the arena. And those are very nice to have. This guy, he casts the sleep spell, and that can be really, really annoying. So a couple of dream rings plus the light, is it the light bangle or the light sandals, something like that, maybe. There you go, there's a dream ring. So yeah, you know, definitely a suggestion I would make is to equip those, because sleep is really annoying, especially if he's a little bit faster than some of your characters, and he'll, you know, if you're expecting somebody to heal or you know, use an item or something, and they're confused too. So there's another annoying skill that he uses. There's Wall of Fire, which heals Nina, because again, she's got the fire ring on. It's the other great thing about this place, you know, if you've got yourself a magma armor, man, it makes this fight so easy. It's actually almost hard to lose, you know, unless your characters are just super low level and they take a ton of damage from, you know, physical skills or something, or physical attacks. Sorry. It looks like, yeah, it looks like I was trying to learn that skill. Hopefully it didn't take too long. I don't really want to make cuts in this video. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any other things with this fight. I don't, you know, in all honesty, what I really actually should have done is I should have probably killed off Gishan and killed off. Okay, so I almost forgot. When you kill off Gishan, the other two, the Scylla and Charybdis, will often just not do anything for a turn. So actually, that is why I decided to learn Wall of Fire now as opposed to later, because there's just a good chance that they're just going to be standing around not doing anything. So like I said, I decided to instead try to learn it now while they're casting it more frequently. Which, is yeah, I got slapped. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. So like, if you've got the levels and the gear to basically take all this damage, then by all means go right ahead. But if you're not leveled up as much as I was at this point, or you don't have the gear to really to handle the incoming damage, I would definitely suggest killing off Gishan first, as that will get his heals out of the way. Not to mention the fact that it'll change the other two's AI so that they'll often, like I said, oftentimes they'll just stand around for a full turn, they do what's called watch enemy. So they, like I said, they don't do anything, and it ends up being free turns, more or less. Air raid as well as intimidate, have a potential for being okay here, just because again, these guys are, I wouldn't say weak to status effects, but you can learn or land status effects on them. So if you've got a fairly quick character, granted that this doesn't apply to Gishan because, like I said earlier, he is completely immune to status. But if you have a quick character like my Nina in this case, you could use. I wouldn't necessarily recommend intimidate because you don't get any damage out of that skill. But air raid, air raid could be semi useful. And boy, this fight took. I don't remember it taking this long. I guess it took me a lot longer to learn. Wall of Flame, or is it Wall of Fire? Wall of Fire. There it is. There it is. Finally. Okay. So finally, now that should mean that we will be on our way here to. Yeah. So a 4 AP cost for a it's definitely a weak fire spell, but it's a fire spell nonetheless. There we go. Nina just did a ton of damage right there. So, again, and I said this in other videos, my Nina is obviously crazily leveled, and I like it. She ends up being very, very useful. So I guess maybe the problem with that, or the thing that might hang up some people on that fact, is that again, it does take a little bit of time to work on her. And I did what did I do? I did right after I got her, basically. I think I leveled under Durandal for the first 3 levels just to get his skills, because he's got some pretty. He's got worthless skills, and I wanted to level Nina at least a little bit, because when she starts out, she is very, very weak. Level 5 and very low HP. So I just I took those first 3 levels, and then at level 8, that was when I apprenticed her under Delonzo. Not only to get her steel, which I love, but also intimidate comes along with it, and what is that? What is that other one? Monopolize. So after learning those skills, I think I leveled in the dump for a little bit. Just got her a couple of levels quick under Delonzo so that I could learn those skills, and then I took her to what I call the Goo Forest, which is the place where you can get Mary Leap if anybody's familiar with that area. And then I ran around in there until I ran into Goo Titans, and they can be very, very difficult when you on your first trip into that spot. But with the right skill combination, they can be beaten. It's using Intimidate and Sleep with Momo, and then casting Silence also with Momo. Blind is very, very effective. And again, I just Intimidate is great as well. As long as you've got somebody that's fast enough, and Nina under Delonzo fits the bill perfectly. But anyways, once you do kill him, you get 600 experience, which is huge at that point in the game. You're talking multiple levels the first time you win. So here I just showcased the Miracle Gene, and then it looks like I went with, what was that? That must be Frost. Yeah, because he got Frost Breath. Yeah, I didn't catch if I put any other genes in there. But boy, yeah, that really did some work. Boom! Wow. So yeah, that's how I decided to finish that off, I guess. What have we got coming up here? Okay. So, I actually did a little cut here in my video because I did this. There's a treasure chest down here that yeah, there you go. Okay. Life shard. Alright. So that's it. That is the volcano. That fight is easier or more difficult depending on how you decide to do it. But here I just made a beeline right to Junktown. There is nothing story-wise to do in Junktown right now, but man, it's got some insane equipment here. So I would at least, check it out. I don't know that, the majority of people will necessarily be able to buy what I was able to buy here, just because, I think I've had somebody equipped with the Midas Stone the whole time, which increases the amount of Zenny after each battle. So I've got quite a bit more than you'd maybe normally have at this point in the game. What am I doing? Okay. I think I was just trying to make sure I had one of everything, just to complete my item collection. Some of that stuff you get more of later, but all right. So here's the high buck stuff. This is some pretty insanely expensive stuff. You can see the Barbarossa is very, very expensive. It's a fairly decent weapon for the main character, and it does have the electric property. So, but that Gigantus is brutal. That is an awesome weapon for Gar at this point in the game. That is going to outclass anything else that you can get for him for the next few hours. So definitely something I would recommend getting. I didn't feel like the Barbarossa was all that important or useful. There's one particular dungeon, I guess, coming up. When is that? Oh no, that's actually, gosh, that's actually for a long time yet that really comes. It's actually here, the Tidal Caves, but you can't actually really do anything there. You can go in there early and just run around the entrance to it and get into the random fights there, but it's not really worth it. The enemies don't have any new skills. You can learn. There's a skill there's a little frog guy there, like called the Hopper or something, that you can learn the snooze skill from if you haven't already from the Aigu. But that Aigu, I learned it right away, basically at the beginning of the game. It uses it on its 10th turn if you're going with the Aigu, but the Hopper will use them more frequently. And here I checked in with the fairies, forgetting that you actually can't do anything with the fairies until a little bit later on in the story. There's story events that have to happen first before you can do anything here, which is unfortunate because the fairy village is my favorite I don't know if you call it a... Maybe it's like a side quest. It's probably a side quest. I don't know. I don't know what else to... I don't know what else to call it. But like I said, it's my favorite little... I am gonna call it a side quest just because that's how I roll. But it's my favorite one in the probably of any RPG I've probably ever played, just because of the cool stuff that you can do it or could do with it. And here we have the Master Kandara, and man, look at this guy's hat. Really? Like, I'm not gonna say what that looks like to me, but okay, I'm gonna say it. It kind of looks like he's got a bra on his head. I don't know. That's what it looks like. And this guy. You know, as much of a boob this guy is, I went there. He has a couple of, or at least one, in my opinion, very useful skill. And I would suggest if you've got the time, I would suggest mastering under him and getting. What does he have there? It's Purify at like 2 levels, I think it is. Don't quote me on these. You know, like, God, I might as well just look it up. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult, man. Gio Gato Diaz Kandara. Here we are. Yes, Purify at 2 levels. So Cures Poison. Not all that useful. Your main character can do it already. If you feel like you need somebody else with, or if you want to make, like say Nina, give the ability to cure poison, then by all means go right ahead. That is actually one of the more useful ways, I guess I look at it, because they're, you know, Momo, I believe, has Purify as well as the main character. So it can be useful on somebody that's got a high AP total like Nina. Now, but here's the real one. Here's the big one. Kairi, at 5 levels. So if you level under Kandara for 5 levels, you get the skill called Kairi. Kairi comes in very, very handy very soon. Not necessarily this next dungeon coming up, but the one right after. So I would suggest at this point to just to apprentice under him. Get Kairi for sure. Benediction is his last skill, and I don't know. It's okay. At 8 levels, you get Benediction, and what it is it says it has a chance to restore party members. So it will just say your sole survivor is, you know, Nina, and if she's got Benediction, there's a chance that she can, when she casts it, she'll revive the other 2. Your sword, long spear, helmet. Okay. So this guy's got some I don't know, fairly reasonably priced goods, armor and gear. But anyways, back to Benediction. You know, more useful on somebody that's got a ton of AP, like Nina. But doesn't necessarily always land. It works. It basically is like the group version of the hero's Raise Dead skill. Raise Dead has it says it has a chance, and I don't know what the revival rate or the success rate of those skills are, but it's not 100% of the time, which can be very, very frustrating if you're counting on it, you know, to resurrect dead members. So typically, you know, if you are in the heat of battle and somebody does fall over, unfortunately, those skills are not all that dependable. So, you know, if you find that your people are falling over a lot, then go right ahead and try it out. See if you like it and if it's useful for you. I am not a big fan, but so I guess I'll leave it at that. But again, long story short, apprentice, get Kairi. Get it. Just get it. The only other thing I guess I would say, it's not as needed if you have your Gar like super leveled. Gar actually does learn Kairi eventually. So, and I'm gonna check here real quick what. What level Gar learns it? And that's the problem though with Gar, is that it takes Gar so long to actually learn it. So Kairi 26. 26. I don't know. Doable, I guess. But the problem is you have to learn it basically before this next dungeon, or in the dungeon, because, well, yeah. I guess I'll leave it at that. That's probably the best time to do it. So, if you've left, say, maybe Pico at a really low level, or Nina, if you haven't been using her, Momo, whoever, doesn't really matter. But if any of those are really low, you could always stick them under Handara right now, and get Kairi a bit faster, or just pound out the levels with Gar. Really up to you what you want to do. I don't know why I ran around this place. This place is really actually pretty annoying. Just the way that it's connected. I don't. Maybe it's kind of cool. I don't know. It's kind of cool. Okay, I'll say it's kind of cool. It can be a little. I guess it can just be a little annoying to navigate. But from a construction point, it actually does look kind of neat. But anyways, wow, it looks like we are getting to the end of this video, and what is this? This is the conversation between Gar and the hero, and he's basically just telling him, what he is. All right, like that's pretty much gonna be the end of this video. So I'm gonna call it here. Like, comment, subscribe though, whatever you want to do. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos, and join me for more. All right, thanks for watching.